Welcome to Live This Life Out Truthfully and Rightly. Selections from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, Part 1 of 2 on Words of Wisdom. Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor of the 2nd century, also known as the last of the 5 good emperors after Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, and Antoninus Pius. During his 19 years of leadership, Aurelius gained a reputation as a philosopher king. Founding his beliefs on the teachings of Stoicism, the Roman emperor was also diligent in finding his own way of self-improvement. Stoicism is an ancient Hellenistic philosophy that teaches one to accept and surrender to what life brings, without seeking pleasure or having fear of pain, and to treat others in a fair and respectful manner. Marcus Aurelius wrote personal notes and ideas on Stoic philosophy and spirituality as a source of guidance for himself. These notes, originally written in ancient Greek, formed a collection called Meditations. This book has been revered by many other philosophers over the centuries and is praised as a real testament to a government of duty and service. Let us now continue with the excerpt from Marcus Aurelius's Meditations in Book 6. Meditations, Book 6. I am composed of a body and a soul. Things that happen to the body are meaningless. It cannot discriminate among them. Nothing has meaning to my mind except its own actions, which are within its own control. And it's only the immediate ones that matter. Its past and future actions too are meaningless. It's normal to feel pain in your hands and feet if you're using your feet as feet and your hands as hands. And for a human being to feel stress is normal if he's living a normal human life. And if it's normal, how can it be bad? Have you noticed how professionals will meet the man on the street halfway, but without compromising the logos or the word of God of their trade? Should we as humans feel less responsibility to our logos than builders or pharmacists do? A logos we share with the divine? Asia and Europe, distant recesses of the universe. The ocean, a drop of water. Mount Athos, a molehill. The present, a split second in eternity. Minuscule, transitory, insignificant. Everything derives from it, that universal mind, either as effect or consequence. The lion's jaws, the poisonous substances, and every harmful thing, from thorns to mud, are byproducts of the good and beautiful. So don't look at them as alien to what you revere, but focus on the source that all things spring from. If you've seen the present, then you've seen everything, as it's been since the beginning, as it will be forever. The same substance, the same form, all of it. Keep reminding yourself of the way things are connected, of their relatedness. All things are implicated in one another and in sympathy with each other. This event is the consequence of some other one. Things push and pull on each other and breathe together and are one. The things ordained for you, teach yourself to be at one with those. And the people who share them with you, treat them with love. With real love. Implements, tools, equipment. If they do what they were designed for, then they work, even if the person who designed them is miles away. But with naturally occurring things, the force that designed them is present within them and remains there, which is why we owe it special reverence, with the recognition that if you live and act as it dictates, then everything in you is intelligently ordered, just as everything in the world is. You take things you don't control and define them as good or bad. And so, of course, when the bad things happen, or the good ones don't, you blame the gods and feel hatred for the people responsible, or those you decide to make responsible. Much of our bad behavior stems from trying to apply those criteria. If we limited good and bad to our own actions, we'd have no call to challenge God or to treat other people as enemies. All of us are working on the same project, some consciously, with understanding, some without knowing it. I think this is what Heraclitus meant when he said that those who sleep are also hard at work, that they too collaborate in what happens. Some of us work in one way and some in others. And those who complain and try to obstruct and thwart things, they help as much as anyone. The world needs them as well. So make up your mind who you'll choose to work with. The force that directs all things will make good use of you, regardless, will put you on its payroll and set you to work. But make sure it's not the job Chrysippus speaks of, the bad line in the play, put there for laughs. Does the sun try to do the rain's work, or is Clepius the meteor's? And what about each of the stars, different, yet working in common? If the gods have made decisions about me and the things that happen to me, then they were good decisions. It's hard to picture a God who makes bad ones. And why would they expend their energies on causing me harm? What good would it do them, or the world, which is their primary concern? And if they haven't made decisions about me as an individual, they certainly have about the general welfare. And anything that follows from that is something I have to welcome and embrace. And if they make no decisions about anything, and it's blasphemous even to think so, because if so, then let's stop sacrificing, praying, swearing oaths, and doing all the other things we do, believing the whole time that the gods are right here with us. If they decide nothing about our lives, well, I can still make decisions, can still consider what it's to my benefit to do. And what benefits anyone is to do what his own nature requires. And mine is rational and civic. My city and state are Rome, as Antoninus, but as a human being, the world. So for me, good can only mean what's good for both communities. Whatever happens to you is for the good of the world. That would be enough right there. But if you look closely, you'll generally notice something else as well. Whatever happens to a single person is for the good of others. Good in the ordinary sense, as the world defines it. Just as the arena and the other spectacles weary you, you've seen them all before, and the repetition grates on your nerves, so too with life. The same things, the same causes on all sides. How much longer? Benevolent viewers, we appreciate your company for today's words of wisdom.